One of the reasons Meghan Markle decided to quit the British royal family, allegedly, was this. Hi, morning, Neil, Sean here in the heart of London. Hope you're keeping well today. And yes, behind me is possibly a building that you may know if you come to London on a regular basis, particularly if you're trying to be green. We're talking, of course, about the splendid King's Cross station. And this is one of the oldest railway stations here in London, alongside, of course, things like Paddington. And a lot of people don't realise this, but Edgware Road also. They were really the innovators, the Victorians. And when you think about it, just to be able to get going and out of town just for a day trip, how amazing must that have been? Lots of journeys have begun and started and ended here and all that sort of stuff. And of course, it's now possibly more famous for that platform in the Harry Potter movies. But as ever, let's get back to your breaking royal story out of London today. The miserable, wet, rainy morning here in London today. As you can see, it's already started pouring. But that's not, of course, unlike the story we're about to share here with you today, as ever, concerning the one-time royal, now former cable TV soap actress, whatever you want to call her, Meghan Markle. She did achieve some success, let's be honest, but naturally with her father's connections, it would have been very, difficult for her not to break through at some stage. But the bigger problem for Meghan was, and this is according to a very good source, when she first met Prince Harry, she allegedly, and I use that term loosely, had no idea really who he was, even when they went on their first date. Now we all know, of course, how they first met and someone put them together. Won't give them any credit, I'm sure they want to keep under the radar now. But what I find interesting is that Meghan really still sticks to the fact that she had no idea about really anything to do with the British royals. I mean, look it up, she must have known something. Even on that now famous engagement interview, she claims she knew very little about the British royal family. Now, when she married into the royal family in a spectacular fashion way back in May 2018, she still claimed that it was all new to her. But according to the very good source, this was really the reason why she decided to quit, alongside, let's not forget, His once Royal Highness Prince Harry. Now, allegedly, according to that good source, the reason why they wanted to quit was simply, Prince Harry wanted a brand new life, didn't want the restrictions of the British royal family. Apparently, he'd enjoyed a different life in the army and simply didn't want to be stifled and returned. This was something that was quickly undertaken by Meghan Markle herself. Now, what Harry allegedly, we always have to say this here on the show, told her was that she would be able to make, a big change, modernise the royals, move forward with all the things that matter to her, included, of course, her notable charity works. Once she found out that that wouldn't be the case, and the fact that she couldn't, say, have a social media platform, couldn't really speak out too much, the fact she'd given a few speeches that were tinged, shall we say, with things that the British royal family did not really approve of, then, of course, she felt it was time for her to Megxit. Now, a lot of people around her at the time tried to convince her, whether she liked it or not, that she could make a very impactful change. After all, she was a young woman joining a very established firm, as the British royal family have called. But apparently, nothing could sway her mind because she needed a voice. And as she often said, and famously said, of course, in that interview with ITV, she wasn't really living, right? She needed to live and move forward. That was the whole point of life. Now, what a shame that both her and Harry couldn't have thought about this before they went down that very expensive and, of course, very much loved royal wedding, causing so much heartache with each step as they took it down to meet each other in the famous aisle of St George's Chapel in Windsor. As we're seeing now, you can see the impact that Harry and Meghan have had, but when you think about it, it would have just taken a little bit of thought on both sides to save a lot of families on both sides a lot of heartache. For Meghan and Harry, this is something that they continually have to live with. Neil, Sean, in the heart of London.